Yo, what is up folks? Food for thought. Little chat, you could say. I've not done these videos for a while. It's been kind of past videos and I did my visual guide. And it's been a while since we've talked about topics that could potentially happen, but at the same time they give good food for thought. And there's one that I've been thinking about recently. And it is what would happen if in the future Final Fantasy does a server or graphic overhaul, either one, but they do something to basically make the server tick system that we have come to hate or love or whatever you want to call it over the last few years, they fix it. And you know what I'm on about, right? You run out of an AoE, you can run back into the animation, but the server tick is gone so you don't get hit anymore, all that sort of stuff. What would happen? Well, there's two things. For PvP, it would be awesome. For PvP, it'd be absolutely awesome. Because you don't die last minute with hallowed ground. You can stun on reaction. It would be so cool. It would like take PvP to a higher tier if server tick lag did not exist. Now I'll keep that one quite brief for PvP. It would just make things a lot better. Now for PvE, I think with PvE, if there was ever a server tick update, if they ever updated their infrastructure to make it where you had to react whilst the animation was going off, I think it could potentially cripple the game, purely based on we've gotten used to this system of how server ticks work, how you can kind of cheese it, slide casting, you know, how you could take Nisi in Gordius by cheesing it and all this sort of stuff. I think we're so used to it as players, and Final Fantasy, Square Enix have always aimed to make the content accessible, right? There was a big shift after Midas and Gordius in Savage Raid tier difficulty, which are a lot more accessible. So I feel as though if you change the server infrastructure and the server ticks become more realistic based on animation, you are going to see a lot of people dying a lot more. The skill gap, I feel as though the skill gap will even jump up higher, because already there's a lot of people. If you just go into a pug and you go into a farm party, how many farm parties have you joined that wipe on the first mechanic? And this is with a server tick system. Now imagine it is reactive on animation and cast bar, not just preemptive. You're going to get a lot more insanity. So I think it would not work well for PvE. I think it would work really nicely for PvP. Server ticks are one of the main things amongst a few things that hold back PvP from being a lot better in this game. But for PvE, we're so accustomed to it. We're so accustomed to the slow ticks, the square arenas, the circular arenas. If they updated that infrastructure to give them more flexibility, we would suck all over again, dude. It'd be like doing Twintania again for the first time. And I think it could potentially harm the game. So I don't think it's a risk they will take in the future. You know, one day, maybe 5-10 years time, probably 10 years time, they'll do a massive graphics overhaul, move stuff up to DirectX, the next DirectX level, and all that sort of jazz. But realistically, I don't think we're going to get server tick updates ever, because it's just too risky to what we've currently got. As awesome as it would be, it's just way too risky. So yeah, last minute hallowed ground deaths and all that sort of stuff, gonna have to get used to them or preemptively pop them. But yeah, that was just a thought that was running through my head. And I'm curious as to what you guys think. So my take is PvP, it would be absolutely awesome. It would enhance the mode. PvE, it would be too risky. It could bleed subscribers. It wouldn't fit the kind of statement message that Square Enix have with Savage tier difficulty. Even though server ticks for the future could unlock more complex arenas and all this other stuff that they've said in the past that is holding them back. But no, certainly an interesting food for thought. What do you guys think? Do you think if they did a server infrastructure, it would be better for the game? It would be worse? Do you think You know, do you agree more with my line of thinking that we are conditioned to how Final Fantasy works? Case in point, you hear World of Warcraft players all the time. They come from World of Warcraft into Final Fantasy and they say, Jesus Christ, the GCD is too slow. I can't play this game. For me, the GCD, I'm so used to it. If I go and play another MMO, like a guilty pleasure Korean MMO or something like that, I bet if I go back and play WoW, I'm going to be like, oh, Jesus Christ, the GCD it's too fast. It's way too fast. So that's always an interesting point as well. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think server infrastructure would be good? Would it be bad? Would it be 50-50? Should they stick to their guns and just do maybe a graphics overhaul in the long-term future? Let me know what you think. But yeah, that's just random food for thought. And I'll try and get more of these discussions on YouTube. Yeah, interesting times. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.